Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to foundation week. Today we are on day 3, and if you haven't watched the other reviews I've done, then you can go ahead and click the links in the description box to watch them. And also, before we proceed, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also the bell next to it so that you're notified every time I post. So today we're gonna be reviewing the Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation. This is how it looks up close and personal. I love the packaging. It's just classy. And then the best thing is that it has a pump. You guys know I love a foundation with a pump. So I got mine in the shade 5N. I bought this foundation at Madora and I bought it for 6,200 I believe. So that's about how much this goes for. So on the actual official Dior website, it goes for about $52 from what I can see. So I don't think that's too crazy of a markup. $52 to 6,100 isn't. There are crazier markups out there. Unfortunately, the range of shades is not that wide. I think they're actually catering more to women of color than they are to women of color, because from what I can see from the chart I'm looking at here, that's more or less their shade range. So us guys maybe start here on the 4th row, or maybe even 4th row midway, and then there are very few shades for women of color. So I'm not sure what the deepest shade even is. Okay, and then I've gone still to the site. The first site was the US site. This is the UK site, and on the UK site it goes for $37. So I'm not sure exactly what the actual price of this foundation is, whether it's $37, $51, I'm not sure. I just know that here in Nairobi, where I got it at Madora, it was 6,100. So let's go ahead and get this foundation on. This side we're gonna use a brush, this side we're gonna use a sponge, just to see the blendability with each tool. I'm gonna apply my Maybelline Master Primer all over my face. So you guys will see that this foundation is like it's a bit red tone on the red side, and I don't really have any red undertones, but that's okay. So from the get-go, it's already giving me very natural skin vibe, super natural. This looks good. This looks just like my skin, and actually when I blend it in, it's not as red as when I first apply it. It kind of settles into the skin quite nicely and matches my tone so beautifully. So that's one very light layer with the sponge. It's covered up my blemishes quite a bit. Not all the way. I would definitely go in with another layer, but what I love about it is that it's giving me, I guess that's what it's called, Forever Skin Glow. It's giving me a really beautiful glow. So let's use the brush on this side. So you see, when I first apply it, it's a bit red compared to when it settles down. Okay, that has hands down given me way better coverage than with the sponge, which I guess we're kind of seeing is a trend, that the brush will give you better coverage than the sponge by far. I just feel like what the sponge does is that it gives you a more natural finish. If you guys can see the difference between the two, this still looks natural, but then it's given me more coverage, as opposed to this side that more or less just looks like my skin, but then like my skin is just glowing from within, you know, that kind, just a very natural look. So depending on what look you're going for, you can choose whatever tool you want. You know me, I love full coverage, so I'm going in with a brush all over the face, and then probably what I'm gonna do is go in with the sponge just to really seal everything in. I just can't draw a foundation without using my sponge. I can't. I am unable. Brushes definitely give you more coverage, but you have to do a bit more blending work so that your foundation isn't streaky. What do you guys use to blend your foundation? Let me know in the comments down below. So I actually don't know if it's that the tone of this foundation is red or whether it's that it's just a bit too warm for my skin tone, because I do have a warm undertone, but I think this is just like way warm. Like if you compare my neck and my face, you can see just how warm this foundation is, but I'm still tempted to say it has some red undertones in it. So now I'm just gonna go over that with my trusted sponge. Man, the sponge also absorbs excess product, so the foundation looks, I don't know, it won't look cakey for sure. So I've just added a very light layer on my cheeks because you guys know that's where I have like some intense, not really intense, but more scarring. So there we go, that's how I'm looking. Looks like my skin. Again, this is a trend with these high-end foundations. You don't look cakey, you don't look like you've done too much with your makeup. It literally just looks like your skin, but better, or like your skin is just flourishing and, you know, doing well, doesn't have blemishes. That's the trend with these high-end foundations, because look at this, guys. Let's do a quick side by side. Okay, so it's dried down a little. The way I would describe the finish of this foundation is velvety. It has a velvety matte finish, so it doesn't dry down like all the way matte, but then at the same time it's not like a dewy foundation. So I'm actually quite interested as to how this foundation will perform on oily skin, because it doesn't dry down to a complete matte finish. And we're back. I've done the rest of my makeup, very simple nude makeup as I've been doing, because the star of the show is the foundation. The foundation is still looking a little bit very it's looking quite warm still, but that's not something I really mind at all. So yeah, I'm gonna be testing for everything I usually test for. I'm gonna keep this on for quite a couple of hours, and then we're gonna see how it looks at the end of the day. Okay, hey guys, I'm back. I think I finished doing my makeup at around 8 a.m. and now it's 2:33. So I've had this foundation on for quite a couple of hours. I'm saying quite a couple because I'm trying to do the math in my head and I'm not fast enough. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've had it for almost 7 hours. Okay, the foundation itself actually still looks good. It didn't oxidize. It just, I think it looks exactly how it did when I first applied it, which is of course a plus. So let's do a quick side by side and compare how the makeup has performed throughout the day. Like, it's shiny on the T-zone, but then at the same time I kind of like that I look so glowy. I actually like that I look as glowy as I do. It's just that, okay, I like how this part looks, I just don't like how this area is shining. I think overall it's actually not performed too badly. The only thing, of course, is that you would definitely have to blot this foundation. In fact, if you have oily skin, I don't know if Dior has other options, but you could still get this one. Just carry, not just tissue to blot, but also your powder, because every few hours you're gonna need to just dab some powder over your foundation so that it doesn't look shiny and oily. If you like this kind of look, which is just something very glowy but still very natural looking, then you can definitely go for this foundation if you have normal skin, because with time it will definitely get that glow. So we forgot to test the transfer when I first finished doing my foundation, but I tested it and there was no transfer at the time. So now I want us to test again and see whether it's gonna transfer or not. I think it will. It's transferred, but actually not as much as I thought it would. Really, that's not much transfer at all. I thought even since, because it's gotten a bit oily, that it would transfer a lot more, but that's nothing too crazy. So okay, that's not bad at all. I think I would still recommend this foundation. Just know that for sure it won't hold up as well as the other two foundations, the Lancome and the Estee Lauder that I've reviewed so far. It may not hold up as well. But if you're someone who wants that glow, I think after all, the foundation is actually called Forever Skin Glow. So maybe this shouldn't come as a shock. So if you like something glowy but still natural, then I think you're gonna enjoy this. I think you're gonna enjoy this foundation quite a bit. So let's dot all our I's and cross all our T's. Is that how it's said? Yeah. So let's talk about the coverage. I think I would say the coverage is quite good. It's full coverage. I got good coverage both with the sponge and both with the brush, but more so with the brush than the sponge. Consistency and feel of on the skin, again, it seems to be a trend with these high-end foundations. You literally don't feel like you have anything on your face. I put 2 layers of foundation and I added even a little bit on my cheeks, and it still didn't feel heavy, didn't look cakey. So it has a very light consistency and feels really comfortable on the skin. The smell, did I actually talk about the smell? It has a very, again, something else that I'm noticing with this high-end foundation, a smell from far, a very, very, very distant smell that just smells nice and fresh and like skincare. So that's how this foundation smells. The shade range, I think I'm gonna insert a photo here of the shades I found, which was honestly not that great. So it's not going to be as easy for women of color to find their shade in this foundation. I'm not sure how dark it goes, but there's not that much selection. Suitability for different skin types, I think I've talked about that. If you have dry skin, I think you're gonna love this foundation. If you have normal skin, you're gonna love it. If you have combination skin where you get a bit oily, just be ready to dab a little bit on the T-zone. And if you have oily skin, be ready to full on touch up your makeup during the day. So go with a brush and your powder to work, so that you powder up every few hours, because you're definitely gonna get shiny. So in terms of transfer, it didn't transfer when I first applied it, but then later on, now it's definitely transferring a little bit. Again, nothing too crazy, but it is transferring, I guess, because the skin has gotten a bit oily, so it's the oils that are making the foundation move and transfer. Does it oxidize? No, it looks just as it did when I first applied it. The color is still the same. It's a gorgeous tone. It hasn't oxidized for sure. I'm trying to see whether this has extra properties. Oh, this is really good. This has SPF 35. That's amazing. That's actually amazing. Oh, okay. It says it has lasting hydration. I'm not sure what that means, but like, I'm really seeing like this is a really good foundation for normal skin types and people who have dry skin. And then it's a skin caring foundation. So So my assumption is that it's also good for sensitive skin, acne prone skin, because it has safe ingredients, non-comedogenic ingredients in it that won't make you break out. And then I think I said it has I would describe the finish as a velvet matte finish, so it doesn't dry down all the way matte. So I guess we shouldn't be shocked that it got a bit shiny, but it looks okay. I keep looking at myself and I'm like, this looks good. This looks glowy, vibrant, definitely oily, but glowy, vibrant. So would I repurchase this foundation? It wouldn't be the first high-end foundation that I repurchase. I think I would much rather purchase the Lancome or the Estee Lauder before I repurchase this one. But then it's giving me a really good glow, guys. It's for that, because the other two foundations didn't give me that. I think I'll repurchase this foundation for a time when I'm into that glowing glowing skin phase. I would repurchase that if I wanted a nice glow. But it's very skin-like. Let me just come closer. You see, it actually looks like my skin. So you see, the shininess isn't too much. It's there, but it's not too much, which is expected with a foundation that dries velvet matte. So if you guys have used the Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation, then let me know in the comments down below. Give us your mini review on it, especially if you have oily skin. I want to hear whether it got really oily and out of control. Let us know in the comments down below. In case you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, turn on your notifications so that every time I post you get notified, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, if you like this foundation, if you're gonna be purchasing this foundation, or even if you're not, just give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.